Hello, we want to test to see if the harness of the never spill spout works. The reason why you're looking at this is probably because you're having trouble. So basically we want to make sure that the 7-pin plug is plugged into your tractor properly, and the harness going all the way to the top is plugged into the light as well as the sensor. Okay, so now we will go step by step to find out what the problems may be. Now if we press the sensor in all 4 corners like this, we see that this whole system is working very well. Let's assume the sensor wasn't working. We want to unplug the sensor here. Okay, and the first thing we want to test though is on the alarm itself. This green wire is always ground and this white wire is always positive. Okay, so if you touch this one on here and the alarm goes on, that means everything between the tractor and here is working properly, and the problem is between here and the top of the auger. All right, so let's say it wasn't working, then we need to go to the tractor side. So the first thing we want to make sure is that we have proper power on coming from the tractor. Inside the 7-pin plugs, we're only using 2 wires. We have the center pin that is supposed to be positive, and the top pin is supposed to be ground. Okay, and now we see that we have 11 volts here on this. Then it is correct. If the voltmeter shows minus 11 volts, that means the polarity is reversed and you have to switch the wires around. So again, we need the center to be positive and the top one to be ground. Without that, it will not work. Okay, so if that is good and we plug this in, we want to see if we're not making a good connection between the tractor and the 7-pin plug. So we already opened this one up and we can plug it in just like this. Okay, and now we can test this again. Center pin is supposed to be positive and the top pin ground. So here we do have, again, our voltage is good. If the voltage is not good here, you can pull this out, and many of these plugs, these pins are open inside, and you can squeeze them apart by putting a needle in between. And then once they're squeezed apart, then the connection should be good. Okay, so let's assume our connection is good here and nothing still works here. That means probably something is wrong inside the box and you have to give me a call. But let's say this works here, but it does not work on the sensor. What you can do is you can unplug the sensor and then make a jumper wire and go across here. If that works, then we know for sure that the sensor is the problem. The other thing, real quick, is on the box itself, there's a toggle switch, and that switch is only for the light. Okay, that's also something you can test right in the beginning before you start taking the plugs apart. If the light works, that means probably the sensor is not good. So hopefully that solved all your problems and you will have a very good harvest. If it did not, then it's probably best to give me a call on the cell phone number that is in the owner's manual or on the telephone number that's written on the box. Thank you very much. Have a great harvest.